Afternoon guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome to volume 2 of AskLee. This is my Q&A session that I did a couple of days ago, and I've got some more questions off you guys, so I thought I'd come in here and do it now before I end up with another 25-minute episode, which is what happened last time. Sorry about that, I don't want to put you through that again, so I'm going to get stuck straight in with the first question, which is from Ishi Gamer, or Ishi Gamer, however you pronounce that. And it says, "Hey Lee, do you see music as a hobby, or do you plan on trying the mainstream someday and just live off of it?" Well, as it happens, I do actually live off music already. I live on the south coast of Spain, and there's quite a lot of work here for me. There's not many people doing the solo acoustic loop station thing. There's a load of duos over here, there's a load of bands over here, and there's a lot of umpire music and stuff like that. But with regards to what I do, I've kind of got the market in a corner. So there's plenty of work here for me. I do a lot of weddings in the summer as well, which pay really well. And the bar gigs that I do, as I said, I'm the only one doing it. So there's enough work here for me to live all year round, which is how I've got the time to do these videos for you and my tutorials and things like that. And the summer season is very busy, which is why there's less content than there should be. In the winter, that should change. Sween So Man says, "Do you play any other instruments apart from guitar? If yes, which ones?" I do play a bit of bass, and I know some people are going to laugh and go, "Oh, bass, it's just an easy version of guitar and you only have to play one string at a time." That's actually not true. The bass guitar is a very, very misunderstood instrument by a lot of people, and if played well, one, it's a completely different technique to playing the guitar, and two, a good bass player can literally make a band. If the bass player is good, generally speaking, like the bass and the drums are the important part of the band. So I really like to play guitar. It's really cool to just get stuck in. I really enjoy it. And I play a bit of drums as well, but not very much. I don't own a drum kit, so I can't practice that at home. So when I get the chance, I'll sit behind a drum kit and have a bit of a jam or whatever, but it's not very often that I get to do that. Next question, Alex Morgan says, "I can kind of sing but want to get better. Do you have any tips?" Now this kind of takes me back to some of the questions that I had in volume 1 of AskLee. I'm not very good at explaining how to sing, but when I was doing my Bloodstream cover yesterday, I realised that my voice was a little bit tight. It just wasn't happening. I did a first take, wasn't happy with it, so I went and had a drink and got a lozenge as well. I use these things called Vocal Zone, and you can get them in pharmacies in the UK, and you can mail order them online as well, which is what my mum did for me a couple of months ago when I ran out of them. So yeah, Vocal Zone, they come in a red box. I've not got any here now at the moment. My brother flies in today and he's bringing some with him for me. So yeah, Vocal Zone I recommend. They kind of open your airways a bit, a kind of like Airwaves chewing gum, if you've ever had that. It's sort of that eucalyptus thing that opens your airways a little bit. Other than that, just doing it, to be honest. If you get a chance to get yourself in a room where you're not worried about people hearing you, neighbours or whatever, and just belt some songs out and just practice and try and get that technique there. That's, I think, the best way of doing it. The best way to do anything is practice at the end of the day. So just put those hours in and don't be worried about people listening to you. You'll have the last laugh when you're a kick-ass singer and they're kind of not able to sing or whatever. So I hope that's sort of answered your question a little bit. Next, Rich Taylor says, "Hey Lee, what's your favourite guitar brand?" And I'd probably say, with regards to electric guitar, PRS, the one that I use already, and I like my Taylor as well for acoustics, so I'd say PRS and Taylor, as they're the ones that I use already. Sween So Man says, again, on my Sennheiser E945 review, which is the microphone that I use for live use, says, "Do you get the cable with it?" And the answer to that is no, you don't get the cable with it. And very few high-end microphones ship with the cable. I assume that's because they just assume, the manufacturer assumes that you're going to pick the right cable for what you're doing with it. And also I think if you're going to use a €200 microphone, you should pick a decent cable. It's no good using a €200 microphone with a €3 cable. It's just, to me, it just doesn't make sense. So I hope that's answered that question. Next question is from Thomas Scott, and it says, "Hey Lee, love the channel and your covers." Thank you very much, Thomas. "Do you own a Martin guitar, and how many guitars do you own?" No, I don't own a Martin guitar. It is a brand that I looked into when I was looking to buy my Taylor that I ended up buying. And I saw that on a Facebook page for a guitar shop in the UK called Rolly's Guitars. And I saw my tailor on there and just fell in love with it, and I wired the guy the money without ever actually seeing the guitar or playing it in person. I don't recommend doing that. Do not do that, people. It was a silly thing to do. I was lucky. I ended up with a brilliant guitar, and I'm really, really happy with it. But yeah, I'd kind of recommend Rolly's guitars as well for that. He was great, and he paid the shipping costs as well, which was amazing. So go and search for Rolly's guitars on Facebook and see what he's got in. And what was the other part of that question? How many guitars do you own? I think I own 5 guitars. I've got my PRS Custom 22, which is my main electric guitar that I use when playing in my band. I've got Schecter 006 Elite, which is the guitar that's behind me on my videos, the electric guitar. The red one has got all the stickers on it. The acoustic guitar that's behind me in my videos is a Hohner Grun series guitar, which is actually my dad's guitar, but I stole it before I bought my Taylor. That's what I used to use live. And obviously I've got my Taylor, which is a 618E from 2014, which is a guitar that I use in most of my videos, in all my videos actually, I think. And I've also got a Yamaha APX 500, I think it is. It's a budget guitar. I think it was about 230 quid, something like that. And that's what I used to use way back in the day when I very first started looping and doing things like that. For a budget guitar, for what it is, it's a great guitar. It just doesn't cut it for what I do now. I've got too used to the high-end stuff. So I think that's 5. Yeah, that's the 5 guitars that I own. Next up, the George F. Sorry again if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but that's just kind of how I read it. Says, hey Lee, can you help me out? I want to buy an audio interface, but how do you connect it with the guitar, mic and loop pedal? I just don't understand how this works. Now, I've tried to answer this question a little bit on the comment itself on YouTube, but I just thought I'd go into this in a little bit more depth if I can, explaining it on this video. I just find it a bit easier doing it that way. And pretty much, the audio interface you choose should be based on the number of channels that you need to record simultaneously. So you need to make sure that the interface can take the recording at the same time of all the channels that it has. My interface, this thing up here, is a Toneport UX8 by Line 6. They don't actually make that anymore, so it's a discontinued model, so you won't be able to buy one of those. But that can record 8 channels at once, which means, in theory, I could record a full band on that thing. But I just use 3 channels. My guitar has 2 outputs, so I've got 2 tracks for the guitar and 1 for my microphone, for my vocal mic. So most people doing what I do would only need 2 channels, I would think, because they'd need 1 for the guitar and 1 for the mic. And what the interface does is it splits those 2 tracks, records them at the same time, but then splits them into separate channels in your digital audio workstation or your DAW, which is your recording software. You can see mine open now recording this microphone. I use Cakewalk Sonar X3 Producer Edition, which I think's great for what it is. There's also Logic, and there's loads of other ones. Cubase is another one. Pro Tools is another one. There's a load out there that you can choose from. And what it allows you to do using the interface is add different effects to different tracks. So I don't have to add the same reverb effect to the vocals as I add to the guitar, or the EQ. I can EQ them differently and give them their own sonic space and stuff like that. I'll try and do a video about that someday, actually, about how I sort of get my sound. I did touch on it a little bit in a past video, but I'll try and do a video that's solely focused on getting a decent sound. And I just do it trial and error. I've never trained to do this or anything. This is just how I hear it. So kind of hope that that helps a little bit. Also, the microphone in the loop pedal goes into the same channels as the guitar, which is why the mic sometimes sounds a little bit dodgy, because I have to EQ it the same as the guitar. So that's why I don't need a separate channel for that. I can't actually have a separate channel for that. So I hope that's answered your question a little bit. If there's anything else, other questions that you've got or anything else you need to know, ask me in the comments section below this video and I'll try and answer them as best I can. And finally, the last question I've got is from Alex Morgan. Can you recommend a good guitar for under £200? Now, budget setup is something else that I want to go into in another video, but I would say the Yamaha APX series, as I said before, I bought the APX 500, I think it was, for around 230 quid. And that did me really, really well in the early days. And I used to earn good money out of that guitar as well. Bear in mind, I could more than pay for that guitar in one day gigging with it. So I really don't think the gear matters that much. Now I'm doing it a lot. Obviously, I think the money that I'm charging warrants having a better guitar and better equipment, which is why I've got a decent microphone and all that. But for example, I'm a new YouTuber, and the microphone that I'm using is a €60 condenser mic. It's not a great microphone, but it does for the level that I'm at with my YouTube stuff. In the future, I may improve it, I may sort of upgrade it, but at the moment it does what I need it to do. So yeah, hope that helps. And also, yeah, that's it. That's the last question. So hope those questions have been answered to your satisfaction. If not, you can ask questions in the comment section. Keep the questions coming, because I want to do future editions of Ask Lee. And thanks so much as well for all your song suggestions the other day. Obviously, I ended up choosing Bloodstream. It was just one that I've been asked for a lot over the sort of course of my videos that I've been doing. So, but there was loads of great suggestions there. In particular, a couple of people suggested Bernhoft, which was somebody that I've never even heard of, and I looked him up yesterday, and man, I'm completely knocked out by that guy. He's wicked. If I was going to do a version of one of his songs, I think it would take quite a while to get it right, which is why I didn't go straight in with that one. I chose a song that I vaguely know in my head. But yeah, there was loads of great suggestions there, so I'll definitely look into doing some of those in the future. So thanks so much for them. As I said, keep the questions coming for future editions of AskLee. Shut up! Sorry about the noise. There's mopeds and things going past and fucking noisy. Yeah, as I said, keep the questions coming. I want to do future editions of Ask Lee. I really enjoy being able to get in and answer the questions on a video like this. It just makes more sense to me than trying to type an answer to a question. So, as I always say, you can like, you can comment, and you can subscribe to my channel and my videos and things for alerts when I upload new stuff. And follow me on Twitter @TweedNelson if you haven't already. And I'm on there as well to answer questions and things, and I often post things that I think might be interesting for you guys. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much, take care, see you soon, bye bye.